Step inside the Connecticut Museum of Culture and History and step back in time.
Some of the items are from 1669.
Natalie Belanger conjures up images of the state's dark colonial history.
So you can find accusations about things that alleged witches did. One is that a man swore that an alleged witch appeared to him with the body of a dog.
Among the museum's hundreds of thousands of artifacts, a handful tell the tales of Connecticut's witch trials.
There are very few documents from that time that survive.
What did survive helps explain the seemingly unexplainable.
Their understanding of witchcraft, and we tend to think of it today as sort of like a supernatural thing, this was this was based in their version of Christianity.
Walk us through these artifacts. What do we have?
All right, so this is a printed copy of the Laws of Connecticut Colony from 1673. And if you turn to this page, you can see that listed under the capital laws, so these are laws that if you break them, they carry the death penalty, is witchcraft right here. And then it cites the Bible verse that that's based on. This is a book called The Kingdom of Darkness. It was published in the 1720s in England. And it's a book that tells you all about various manifestations of demons and witchcraft that have been happening in England over the last few decades.
The Connecticut witch trials happened between 1647 and 1697, but the last executions happened in 1663. At least 34 people were indicted. Of those, 11 were hanged, 9 women and 2 men.
Puritans were really into the law. They had a very strict sense of due process. So when you got accused of witchcraft, it was a written complaint. There were magistrates who would put you in, you had a grand jury trial, right? They are trying to apply due process and fairness to this phenomenon that we think is inherently unjust, which is trying someone for witchcraft.
What's left of those legal records are mainly kept at the state library, but finding them among the stacks requires some heavy-duty digging.
This is a deposition of Susanna Howard in a civil case for debt.
Connecticut Explored publisher Dr. Katherine Hermes recently uncovering a 1716 transcript.
And he could raise the spirited dead.
It's testimony by 16-year-old Susanna Howard of Wethersfield, accusing a doctor of being a witch.
At first, I couldn't believe my eyes that this was an 18th century accusation, because we thought they all stopped in the 17th century.
The new finding proof there is still a lot to learn.
There's a lot we don't know in terms of why people were accused. And I would not be surprised if people found even more accusations like the ones we found in the 18th century in civil cases.
It's easy to look back at this story of witch hunting and just dismiss it as, oh, people were ignorant back then, they were stupid, how silly. But this was very real to them. And if you kind of think about the things that you hold, the values you hold most deeply, this was as real to them as those are to you.
The real story buried under the black and white. Turn the page and keep reading. Angelo Bavaro, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.